Hello, fans of The Weekenders. It's weird to think there are fans of things that I did. I'm Doug Langdale, creator of The Weekenders. We're coming up on the 20th anniversary of the show. I still have the hat still fits, so not everyone can say that 20 years later. Apparently it's going to be on Disney Plus or something, so we're all pretty excited. But is it weird that this is all stuff that's like always in my living room? It's like we didn't decorate, but this is puppet I made. This is Reginald. He's deceased. Anyway, they asked if I had like an anecdote about the show. I was driving around with my wife today, and I just suddenly remembered that when we were designing the locations for the show, I talked to the late Tom Warburton, our fantastic BG designer, and I was telling him about the house that I lived in San Diego, which is, the period of my life that the show is based on. Tom actually drove down to San Diego and went and looked at the actual house and other houses in the neighborhood in order to design Tino's house for the show. So that was some serious dedication, and thank you, Tom, for doing that. So there you go. That's an anecdote. It's a thing that I remember from the past.
Tell them how you pitched the show.
Yeah, all right. So I had a pitch to Disney, and I had 2 or 3 shows that I had worked out in great detail, and I pitched those things, and they had no interest whatsoever. And they were like, "Do you have anything else?" And then I had a piece of paper that literally just said "Kids on the Weekend" and nothing else. And I picked it up as if I was going to read this thing. And I just had nothing to say. So I started talking about stuff that I did when I was 12 and just told them about stuff from when I was a kid. And they were like, "Let's make that show." And I was like, "What show?" That was just like me hanging out by the airport with my friend Steve, it didn't. Anyway, that was the show they bought. At some point, I got an offer for The Weekenders, and I was like, "What's The Weekenders?" Someone, we still don't know whom, had just arbitrarily called it The Weekenders and written it on a piece of paper when they made the offer, and that wound up being the name of the show. To this day, no one knows where the title of the show came from. All we know is that Michael Eisner said, "I love the show. The only thing I don't like is the title. The title is terrible." And we were like, "We'll change it." And then we never changed it. And there were specific places that I hung out that became places on the show. There was, I think it was Tesla Park in the show was loosely based on Belmont Park in San Diego, which is one of the country's oldest, or one of the West Coast's oldest amusement parks, I think. And I spent a lot of time hanging out in Balboa Park, which has a ton of stuff in it. One of the things that's in there is the Museum of Man. And they had a woman who worked in there who made tortillas, all day long. She just would make tortillas and sell them for a nickel. And it was like a living exhibit, because this section was on, South American foods and stuff. And she was the inspiration for the Foods of the World lady on the show. Originally, the characters were going to hang out in a tea shop, because my friends and I hung out in a tea shop in high school, a little bit older. And the consensus at Disney was that kids weren't interested in tea. It should be pizza, because kids love pizza. So it became the pizza place that changed names in every episode because I couldn't decide what I wanted to call it. That's it.